All right, gentlemen. Welcome back
Not expecting that.
to Wildemount. So when we last left our party, they were continuing on their way towards the city of Bysaes Tyl by way of the Cloakjaunt Path, the imperial roadway winding through the mighty Pearlbow wilderness, as part of their caravan escort mission, a mission which has seen some twists and turns. Along the road, they encountered another twist, drips of blood coming off the main path, seemingly fallen from the sky. A bit of investigation revealed an injured griffin belonging to a Sir Lawrence, a righteous brand soldier from Rastam Den. The party earned the griffin and Sir Lawrence's trust in defending against a Periton attack and offering healing. The encounter revealed, however, that uneasy feelings of distrust still linger between the party members in light of the previous evening. The party made their way back to the road where the caravan was waiting for them. And now as the midday sun becomes obscured by thick white clouds and a light snow begins to fall from the sky, adventurers, what would you like to do?
Zakid, kind of just being disappointed he couldn't really befriend the griffin, is solemnly just going to walk towards the carriage and just have a seat.
Okay, let's get that key on a post.
He's going to make his way toward the front cart.
I don't know what cart Rock was in, but he goes to whatever cart he was in.
Shall we continue our journey to the tile?
Yeah. Yeah, let's head off here.
Yeah. So wait, there's only one cart now?
So there's two carts.
Oh, there's two carts. Okay.
Yeah.
Andros is gonna.
Sorry, Andros. We're all full here.
Yeah. Is there enough room in this one?
God damn it.
Yeah, the carts hold between 3 and 5 people, so you're only at 4 in that one there. Seawald, the driver, kind of bids you a nod as you climb aboard.
Okay. Andros is gonna walk straight up to this and look at Zakid and just keep walking, keep looking at him, never breaking eye contact, and then plop his ass down in this one.
Okay. And Xarxius, are you going to continue your normal travel trajectory of kind of heading out 100 feet or so, 300 feet between there and ahead of the party?
Yes, I am.
Alrighty. So Xarxius leads the way there.
For the very near future, like next 10 minutes, if it takes me a second to answer, just wait, because I'm actually bathing my daughter right now too, so my hands are wet.
That's amazing.
So yeah, but I do want to stay out in front.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, well, advantage to Xarxius' first roll tonight, whatever it ends up being, because he's that's some dedication, making time for D&D here. All right.
As Andros gets to the cart too, with Rock, Rock says, "Hey, Andros, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us." Just real nice.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, the horses take off down the road. You are once more on the road to Bysaes Tyl. Xarxius, will have you make a perception and a stealth check. Get that done for you. anyone else aboard the carts who wants to kind of keep a lookout, feel free to make a perception check.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we'll just have.
watching the
Alright.
rear.
Rock is good.
Otherwise, we'll just have Xarxius watch.
I'll make one, yeah.
Okay. Ooh, wow, it's nice. A couple 20s in there, so a couple eagle eyes out on the road as the carts travel along the Cloakjaunt Path, heading along towards Bysaes Tyl. It is a. Go ahead, get some art back here. Map of Wildemount. Okay, so as the horses clomp their way north, Xarxius, you trudge ahead, obviously following. You find that you're getting into the thick of the forest here now, and it's just getting a little chillier. You feel the air start to bite a little more on your skin. Snow a little thicker on the sides of the roads. It's quiet out here, though, besides hearing the light snow drizzling down and birds chirping. Don't really see too much. Nothing really in the way of tracks that you can see. Zakid, you and Theron, you as well with that perception check. You guys do notice as the carts clomp along some interesting tracks. Just zooming in out, with your vision out into the woods. You see some large footprints that might belong to a large bear or other such creature. But they seem to be staying well away from the main path at this time.
Like leading away from the main path, or?
Yeah, just kind of crisscrossing in between some trees. One that maybe came a few, maybe about 50 feet or so to the tree line, to the road, and it's maybe snipped around a bit, but nothing really coming close to the road.
How sure am I this is just a wild beast or some sort of creature?
If you'd like to take a closer look, you can go ahead and make a survival or investigation check, your choice.
Oh yeah, I'll pop off the cart, walk over and look, see.
Go for it. Getting up close to the tracks, you see that they are relatively freshly made, and they seem to belong to. Indeed, it's been confirmed by the size of the paw print. They do seem to be that of a large quadrupedal beast of some sort.
I'll just kind of make note, head back to the cart, and continue scanning for other signs. Just in case this beast starts heading towards the path.
As you guys travel on, nothing else interrupts your journey for the rest of the day. And as you see the sun start to grow heavy in the sky, you realized you made it a good another 25 miles along the road. You're now sitting approximately 1/3 or maybe a little closer to Bysaes Tyl. Would you like to proceed into the evening of travel, or are you going to make camp?
Buren kind of just been meditating lightly on and off in the cart. It's more than okay to continue travel. Keeping his eye ever so slightly glanced on the road.
Yeah, Zakid, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Okay, so you guys want to push on a bit into the night?
Yeah, and Zakid will. I'm gonna cast light. I'm gonna slap my horse's ass and cast light on the horse itself.
Okay, all right. So, right on the large derriere of this beast, it is now a floating ball of white light that's kind of beckoning your way as you continue to clop on through the darkened woods, or the darkening woods, I should say. Yeah, sounds of the night start to come over as we find those.
Theron kind of just looks over to Zakid. Have you noticed any more of those tracks? Anything we should be worried about?
Zakid's gonna do a quick scan and see if those tracks will continue to follow the path. If they
Yeah,
kind
you've
of
been.
disappear into the wilderness.
Yeah, go ahead and make another survival check, Zaki. In the darkness, you seem to have lost the tracks somewhat. It's kind of your eyesight, strain as you might. It's kind of hard to pick up what's just trampled snow and what is actually the tracks of this beast at this point.
Just to be on the safe side, Theron kind of gets up gracefully, jumps to the back cart from the front. Better to be safe than sorry. Hand on the hilt, just prepared.
Okay.
Appreciate the
Walk.
company, friend.
Absolutely.
You're walking alongside now. All right, so for each additional hour. Okay, so you guys are now at a point where I will have to have the party start making Constitution saves if you wish to continue traveling to see if you avoid exhaustion or not.
All right.
It's an ability check.
Yeah, so if I could get everybody in the group to make a con save. Oh, I forgot Xerxes gets advantage on his first roll.
And I did an ability check.
Do you want to just make a con save? Nice. Very nice. Okay, everybody has avoided exhaustion. You guys are bound and determined to continue on for the night. You're able to make a little more progress. Oh, Rock is there as well. Yes, and Rock has hit his as well. So you guys are still very awake. Perhaps it's the events of the last few nights that have kept you going. But as the forest darkens around you, you continue making off. You can tell your drivers of your cart are maybe feeling a little frightened with the darkness. Seawald seems to be gripping the reins a little tighter. Oh, but you guys continue on your way. Make a little more progress. Get to about 8 p.m. You guys want to keep going? Another con save from everyone?
Andros will say, probably good that we make camp here tonight.
We can camp in so long as you stay on the opposite end of the carts.
My ass isn't moving. Perhaps you should move.
The Zakid is going to look at his companion from where did we come from again? Odessloe?
Odessloe, yes.
And just kind of watching him kind of nervous and scared of the dark, and so don't worry, friend, I'll protect you tonight. And just kind of pat him on the head like a child.
All right.
Seawald in response. Very well then, we can break off here and make camp for the night. Whoa! Brings the horses to a stop. The party finds a suitable area off. You're in a thicker part of the woods now, but finds a suitable area to make camp camp. Fire is made.
I'll warm myself by the fire.
And as the sounds of the night echo out, sounds of the forest, you all settle into the campfire for an evening of reprieve from a long, successful day of travel.
Apparently I need vision for the video.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that, buddy. That's cool. Should be good. All right.
Yeah. So, kind of, as camping per usual, Zaki is gonna sit around the fire, pull out his mess kit, and just rustle up a bit of grub with whatever he seems to have on hand.
All right. Zakid starts to put some utensils and tools together, and before long, the smell of some heated rations is wafting to all your nostrils as that heats up on the campfire.
Rock is going to do some tinkering, and he's going to make a griffin that the wings just flap.
Awesome. So you see Rock with his own tools out, sitting there, and some mechanical wonders going on over there as you see moving parts and tiny pieces, and his tiny hands working with like almost impossibly small tools to make these wonderful creations come to life. And after he does, and he imbues this thing with some magic, the mechanical griffin flaps its wings, makes a sound very similar to the one you heard Sir Lawrence is making. It's a creation to be proud of.
Are we doing a long or short rest? 8 p.m. Sleeping till morning?
Yeah, let's
Say we should go through morning. We'll start fresh.
Yeah, let's do a long rest.
Long rest for everyone. Do you have anyone keeping watch as you rest, or are you going to all just go to sleep?
yeah, Rock will take one watch.
Okay. So Rock will take. Yeah, first watch there.
Zakid will take kind of like, the dawn into the morning.
Okay. Perfect. So, yeah, go ahead.
Well, he's kind of. He's almost going to do like a half-assed watch, and he's going to do some scribbling on his map that he's been kind of drawing as he comes, and he's going to make a note of when he saw the tracks earlier.
Okay. So, reproducing that best as you can in your notebook, you sketch out the large animal tracks that you saw. So if Rock and Zakid, if you both want to make perception checks for the evening. See how your watch goes.
Hey Ryan.
Yes, sir.
While Zakid is on watch, and I don't know how you want to roll this, if it's like by chance, but knowing that Zakid has that section of watch, I would like to wake up, or like if I wake up during that time, I want to go talk to Zakid while everyone else is sleeping, if possible.
Okay. All right. So we'll say we've gotten to that portion of the night. Zakid is up. Rock, you finished your first watch there. Nothing really came up. We're now into the later hours of the night. Theron meditating peacefully there. Andros sound asleep. And you see Zakid there. Xarxius, as one of your eyes creaks open there. You still see it. You know it's late at night, but you're not entirely sure of the time. But you see Zakid on watch there, kind of half looking around, half scribbling in his notebook.
Okay, so I will get up as quiet as I can as to not wake anyone else. And does Zakid see me get up?
Are you trying to be stealthy and like not make it noticeable?
No, I'm not trying to be stealthy. I just if he does see me, I just want to put my hands up as to like I just want to talk,
Okay.
And
I
if
would
he
say-
doesn't see me, I want to make just like a little like a whistle just to kind of get his like a
Okay.
quiet one just to get his attention. I don't want him to think I'm trying to sneak up on him, basically.
Gotcha. Perfect.
But,
All right. I
but
would
don't
say,
want to wake anybody else up. So
yeah, for sure. I would say with Zakid's 21 perception roll there, he noticed you stirring over there, Xarxius, and he sees you. Sees the brief eye contact that you guys made.
okay. So sorry, I'm trying to get it signed up or get logged in here.
No worries, brother.
Okay, so yeah, I just want to go over to him and say, Birdman, can I have a word with you?
Zaki is gonna give him like a bit of a side eye, and kind of continue scribbling on his map, but kind of nod, just kind of ushering him into conversation.
Okay, so I'm just gonna come over and kind of sit near him, as to so we don't wake anybody else up, but just kind of sit near him and be like, listen, I don't know if there's anything that I can do to convince you that we are not traitors to you. I can see why you would think that, but you have to understand that doing this underhanded deed is not, I won't even say just in the best interest, but it can't be done by some people, meaning our big friend over here, and kind of like, make a motion towards Andros. And the way I see it, we have a lot better chance of staying alive if he's on our side. So I understand we had this job, and this isn't quite, this is a big wrench in that job. But I don't know about you, but I don't want to go toe to toe with that big son of a bitch. So maybe if we can maybe coexist and know, because I can tell you, as someone that was a part of this deed that you see to be, so treacherous, it was not done with any, malice towards you or to any of our party. It was just towards this this drug that we were unknowingly spreading.
So Zakid's just gonna kind of like slowly look over to Xerxes and just say, understand me, friend. It's not the loss of the drug or the wrench in the plans of our quest that bothers me. It was waking up to actions done in the night sneakily, and at this point I have to regain that trust, because I don't know if that next sneaky move will be a knife.
I understand that. I understand what you're saying. But we had talked about it, and we decided we wanted to take this upon us. That if you ever had, if it ever came down to a situation, that we could not get out of, you could, without the guilt of lying, you could say that you had no part in it. And we both felt that it just had to happen. So all I'm saying is, I'm just giving you something to think about here. You don't have to forgive, and definitely don't forget. But I wanted to explain to you that, this was not done out of spite towards you or anyone else in our party.
So Zakid is he's gonna start twirling the pearl of power in his hand, and like fully cognizant that it's not clear, he's gonna say, let's make this crystal clear. I have no ill will towards you, and I will never willfully do you harm. but for now, I have to watch my.
And I feel as though we all need to do that, but we have a lot better chance if we're watching each other's as well. And after saying that, Xarxius will just kind of like pat him on the back and then walk back over to lay down.
Zakid will go back to doodling on his map.
Right. So while that conversation was going down and the night passes relatively event-free for the people keeping watch, Andros, you have a much more interesting night.
Ooh.
So you find yourself, Andros, amongst familiar, nostalgic sights and sounds. The clash of swords and axes upon armor and shields. The grunts of effort as righteous brand recruits around you train and spar amongst themselves. You are back in Blade Guard, where you were raised and first honed your skills as a fighter. Many of the faces around you in the courtyard are familiar. Gilbert, Northumble, Dorjasa. The captain overseeing the training is Karush, a stoic and emotionless orc. Stark contrast between you two is something your fellow recruits never cease to mention. And, as can often happen in dreams, a commingling of the past and present. The party with whom you currently travel is also present, looking down upon the courtyard with wry interest. Entering the training ground is another familiar face, that of your father. You are relieved, Captain, he says to Karush. I will oversee the training from here. Yes, General Cicero, the orc salutes. Cicero looks upon the righteous brand soldiers before him, but, true to his character, makes no signs of either being impressed or disappointed. His battle-scarred face shows no expression. He locks eyes with you, Andros. Andros, where is your weapon? Why are you not training with the rest of the men? Do you respond, Andros? Yeah, do you respond?
Yeah, he responds, I simply taking in the skills of my competitors, Father. And then he grabs for his his axe and brings it up, kind of showing his father.
As sure as you were sure it would be there, your axe, familiar in your hands. As if answering the call, a soldier appears before you, ready for battle. Well, what are you waiting for? Cicero asks. The soldier with the halberd pulls it right in front of you, Andros, challenging you to come at him.
So is this like an exercise?
Yeah, you're just sparring. Yeah, you gather from the area you're in. This is a sparring exercise. But it's also a dream, so it's got a creepy element to it too.
Sure. Does this guy seem to be my equal, or is he bigger or smaller than me?
You've never seen this man before, but judging from his appearance, he should be no match for the mighty Andros.
Okay. I look towards my father and give him a look of confidence, and I go into a barbaric rage, and I strike at my sparring partner.
Upon seeing your face transform, overcome with rage and emotion, you see a brief moment where his eyes lose all morale. And he's just have enough resolve to bring up the halberd with 2 hands, block your axe swing in front. It's a heavy blow that he barely made. But your father seems to shake his head slightly. Belly in, Cicero says to you. Watch your footwork. I raised a soldier, not a lame mule. Another parry from your opponent. He whacks your axe back. He sneers, mocking your efforts. Come at me again. Do you respond?
I'm sorry. He said what?
He says, he's just kind of mocking you. He says, come at me again.
Yeah, I come at him, and I try to go twice as fast as I did previously.
I'm Andros, showing off his impressive footwork, making a juke to the left, to the right, coming at just twice as fast with the axe, swinging it around his head this time, coming in and stopping right immediately before what would have been a decapitation on this man, holding back, your arms rippled with the rippling muscles, sweat dripping off in your rage, barely holding back from killing this man. Still, Cicero says to you, are you going to let him outduel you? My son, born of pure warrior stock into the ranks of the most elite fighters of the Empire. Hit him!
Andros comes up. I don't know if I need to make a roll for this, but I'm going to attempt to kind of do a barrel roll, get behind my partner, and slit his throat with my axe. Just run it right across the back. Run it right across the neck.
Absolutely.
Like a fucking savage.
And in this dream world, no roll needed. You are able to do exactly as your thoughts command. You move around him. You actually move under his halberd, moving with an impossible grace for a man your size, but then rolling, gripping him with your dead grip with one hand, and then bringing the axe across.
And as I do, I just want to look at my father, and just kind of like with a hopeful gaze of approval, like, "Hey, Dad, did I make you proud?"
Man in your grip, as you feel the warm blood drip down your hands, falls limp, falls to your feet. Cicero takes a step forward towards you. Do you think I antagonize you out of some misguided cruelty? No, Andros. I tried to mold you into the soldier you were meant to be. But you choose instead to embrace your passion, abandon technique for emotion. You were given strength and skill to make you legend among men. You were born to slay 1,000 drow in King Dwendal's name. You would throw away a life of glory and honor by fighting like a common barbarian. You have embarrassed your name, embarrassed the Empire. Until you realize this, all you will ever be fit for is a mercenary, and no true son of General Cicero would ever follow such a path.
Damn.
Andros, before you have time to react, you see Karush, the orc captain, who's all of a sudden now pointing up to the sky. Sir, what is that? Off in the distance. And as you look where he is pointing, you see black wings beating across the sky, circling, dipping below the horizon. Then in a flash, the dragon was within the courtyard. You see the horrific fangs and dead eyes of the beast, who seem to smile as he locks onto you, Andros. With a bestial roar, the black wings propel the dragon towards you, closer and closer. until you can see the rows of teeth within its open maw. Then you startle awake and realize it was all a dream.
What?
Let's get you guys back to
how
camp.
late into the night are we?
We are now. It is into the next day, well into the next day. Xerxes and Zakid have had their little exchange. Zakid, you're still awake, but it is now 5:12 a.m., about an hour away from when you guys would normally wake up.
Me being the only one awake unless Xerxes stayed awake. Did I notice, Andros tossing and turning at all? Was this like a pretty calm nightmare that I don't know has happened?
You certainly see him awake now, with your high perception roll there. You see that he's awakened now.
But did I see him like rocking in his sleep or anything? Like, did I see the dream affecting him?
Andros may be able to answer that better. Andros, would you say had a fitful sleep?
Oh, hell yeah. I woke up in a just kind of a heavy breath, cold sweat, and just woke up. One of those dreams where you wake up and your eyes are just like, no sleep on your eyes at all. Just woke up dead-eyed and just kind of curled up into the fetal position. Not so much of a crying, but just curled up and just shaking, heavy breathing.
So Zakid is going to stand up and slowly walk over to Andros and hand him a water skin to have him drink from if he chooses.
Andros is just kind of look at him, really confused, angry for just a half a second. He's gonna grab the water skin and just like chug half of it, and like in between huge gulps, he's just gonna say, "Thank you, friend."
Zakid's just gonna like very quietly just say, "We all have our demons," and walk back to where he was sitting before.
As he walked off, he kind of just scoffs and goes, "At least your demon is out in the world. My demon is within." Thank you.
Zakid's gonna take
the
note.
wine sack back to him.
Zakid's gonna take note, but kind of continue on like he didn't quite hear it.
And Andros is just gonna kind of walk away from the central camp, and he's just gonna go by this tree and just kind of prop himself up on the tree, still kind of in like a crouched, kneeling position, kind of curled up, and just kind of just gently rocking.
I guess just for the sake of, I seem to be cooking a lot. Is there any, wild herbs or wild veg growing around?
Yeah. Make a investigation check, Zakid, or actually survival too, because you probably actually would be a survival check because you're checking for things to eat and whatnot. And unfortunately, in this dense, snow-covered area, all you can really find, you do find some easily identifiable red berries, which you've seen throughout the journey here, and you would notice that those are things that the elves have been eating, and those are easy enough to find against the red snow, but unable to find really anything else of true sustenance.
Pick up some berries.
All right.
Aaron will be stirring awake at this point in time now from his meditation. Curious as to what Zakid is doing, but quickly realizes he's foraging. I'm gonna make my way toward him. You notice anything in the night? Anything at all? Anything of interest?
Zakid will turn to Theron and kind of, looking around camp, kind of explain the conversation he had with Xerxes. Explaining that, at least from what Xerxes is telling him, that they don't have any ill will towards the party, but their actions were dictated by what they felt needed to happen, and then I'll continue on to just forage berries. I'm gonna leave Andros's tossing and turning to myself.
Okay.
Trying to save him any awkwardness within the party.
Okay. As the sun starts to crest over the sky, it's now around 7:30. Or we'll say it's getting on 8 o'clock now in the morning. And you guys have all roused out of your sleep now. Yeah, the carts are equipped. Seawald and Delandra are waiting in their normal positions, ready to take your orders.
How far away are we from Bysaes Tyl?
You've gotten about halfway now.
Halfway, damn.
Yeah.
So Zakid's just gonna kind of stand up, kind of shake off any accumulated snow, and just say, "Well, onwards. We have a long travel ahead of us."
Agreed. However, suspiciously quiet. Not liking this. I will take my place at the back of the cart again, protecting our six.
I always appreciate a second set of eyes.
Of course.
Xerxes will stand up and kind of shake off the night and put his pack on and start walking. Kind of trying to, be stealth and all that stuff.
Absolutely. So Xerxes, as you lead the way with the group and the carts travel on, Theron, your observation about the woods being quiet seems to prove true for actually a good solid 3 days of travel. You guys are able to make excellent progress, unimpeded by anyone or anything else on the roads. On day 2, you did see a unique scene of some wolves and a bear attacking in the forest, but you all decide not to intercede. And it's been a quiet 3-day ride north, and you've now just woken up from camp on your 3rd day. You now know that Bysaes Tyl is within the 3 days of travel away. So, 3 more days of full travel, you guys should be able to reach the city gates. So, assuming you are all continuing on in the same way you have been over this path, it's been a long week. You've gotten to know more about Seawald's life than you probably ever wanted to, as the man kind of was nervously chatting to fill in spaces there.
And he's learned way more about the Winged Mother than he ever wanted to.
Indeed. I think Zakid, I think at this point you can consider Mr. Seawald as a true follower of the Winged Mother. At this point, he's actually been taken to reciting phrases back to you that you've taught from the scripture.
Praise be.
All right. So on this day of travel, so we have now progressed. Let me adjust the calendar here, because the group has now spent. Let's see. It is now the 23rd of Horisol, so the group has now spent week. So this is your 9th day together as a party. Seems like an eternity has passed since you all first met in the tent tavern run by the tabaxi named Kajisi. And who would have known that this taking a job board posting in the Amber Crossroads there would have led you to this unique space so far north, approaching the elvish city of Bysaes Tyl. On this day, Xarxius, as you do your normal leading out the party, there's no mistaking this and no skill check needed to see what appears to be black smoke coming from a spot within the woods off to the eastern side of the road. It's coming off in large plumes, and it's rising straight up in the windless air. But there's no mistaking in this that there's obviously something is burning.
Do I hear any noise or anything like that?
For that, we will have you make a perception check.
I'm at my computer right now, so I can do it.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. So the second you notice that smoke, you decide to take a closer look, see if you notice anything else around you.
I don't see shit or hear shit.
Nothing else around you, just the sounds of the birds chirping and a strange plume of smoke coming up in the distance.
Okay, I will. So how far off of the path is it, or is it on the path?
It's off into the woods, a bit. You just vague guessing, probably 5 miles away.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I will head back to the party and give them this information and say, what do you guys think we should investigate or just proceed?
Can Zaki kind of head up into the air and see if we can get a better vantage point?
Absolutely. Zaki takes flight. You want to go up your full fit? Well, I guess you can go as high as you want, really.
I'll go about let's say 30 feet above the tree.
Okay. Yeah. So from this distance point, you can see that Xarxius's assessment of distance is about accurate there. It's looking about maybe 4 or 5 miles off to the northeast, and you just see a plume of smoke coming up out of what appears to be a small clearing in the trees, but harder to see what else it could be from this distance.
Yeah, I guess I'll just head back down and just say the forest is too thick to see exactly what the cause of this smoke is. It's up to the party whether or not we can investigate.
Bysaes Tyl has waited this long. Waiting a little longer couldn't hurt. I say we investigate.
The only thing we have to think about is, being as this is 5 miles away off the path, we have to leave the carts, attended by only their drivers. That may be risky because, it's going to take some time to travel by foot.
Fair point, Xarxius. More than just a pretty face.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that.
Can we, depending on if there's any kind of clearing or opening, can we pull the carts, off the road enough that they might be hidden a bit, and then have our followers come with us?
Yeah, absolutely. With a little bit of, just a little bit of ingenuity, you could get some pine boughs and fir boughs and some, some fallen wood and debris on the forest floor that you can use to kind of successfully mask your carts there. And I wouldn't stand up to obviously direct inspection or anything like that, but from a distance or from just a pass by on the road, probably just looks like brush in the forest now. The horses are another matter.
Of value in the? Do we have anything of value in the carts?
So contained in the
goods,
carts
the general
now.
goods.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. Yeah.
What?
Just some like random supplies, fish, food, some lumber.
Okay.
Nothing of high value.
We burnt the high value items, right?
We burnt the high value stuff.
Contraband.
And buried them. Seawald chips in there.
I'm good with abandoning the carts.
Yep. I'll still tie off the horses. Maybe I'll unhook them from the cart so they have a bit of like.
Tie them deeper in the bush.
Yeah. And with enough slack that, let's say, a wolf tries to attack, they might be able to give it a good hind leg kicking.
Okay. Keeping all that in mind, you tie the hitch the horses up there. All right. And do you all proceed in the direction of the smoke now, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Over here?
Zakid will kind of follow above the group on the small chain of smoke. An opening shows itself a bit earlier.
And Xerxes will proceed ahead of the group, just to try to get an idea of what's going on, and stealthily do that.
Okay. So as you two
attempted stealthiness.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check there, Xerxes. Quiet you can be, kind of taking the lead, and you're able to slip through, crafty rogue that you are, leading the way, from signaling, not out of eyesight, just far enough so that you're still in eyesight of the others, and they can follow you successfully. And as you guys draw closer, about an hour passes of travel or so, and you guys draw closer, and you notice that actually the path was probably a former game trail or something like that, but it's actually kind of smoothed out into a relatively well-used path now. And Zakid, you notice this from the sky as well as Xerxes, that the smoke is actually starting to seem to clear now. It's just definitely petered out now. It's now just a slight gray coming from the sky, or coming from its source. And Zakid, as you've kind of closed in on this thing now, you can see a little closer. You guys are about halfway there now. That this clearing is indeed just a clearing in the woods, sitting on top of a little bit of a hill. The fire is petering out, and you can see the bare outline of what seems to be a bit of a structure.
Is there any people or anything around that we see?
Was that Rock? Rock, make a perception check as you scan the woods for signs of life. Yeah, you take a good look, and you're not able to see anything around you.
Yeah, so is there any... am I looking into the clearing?
You can now see it from where you are, Xerxes. Yeah, I mean, you're maybe about a mile kind of up this. It just kind of starts to go a little bit of a slight incline up in this forest area, and you see that the smoke at this point actually has just about cleared now. But you still know the direction that you're supposed to be in, for sure.
Okay. Well, can I look and try to listen and see if I see any movement or anything like that, like the presence of people?
Ooh, yeah. You squat down. You kind of you dial in with your ears. Go ahead and make a perception check. See if you pick anything up. Yeah, beyond the sounds of the forest, nothing.
Okay. So, I guess I'm going to... So, how far ahead am I of the rest of the party right now?
You're within eye shot, so maybe within the thickness of the woods. You can't get that far away from each other, but you're within eye shot, within shouting distance for sure.
Okay. So I am gonna kind of give them the signal, like, let's, move closer slowly. Like, and then I will start moving forward. Still trying to stay as stealthy as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of until I can see something, because I feel like there's got to be something here. And
yeah,
just gonna keep
for
proceeding
sure.
towards it.
You're keeping an eye out for sure.
Yep.
All right.
I guess as the key is closer in the air, can I keep an eye out for like tracks or I guess any signs of the people who snuffed the fire?
Yeah, from the sky, go ahead and make a perception check there. See if you can see anything on the ground more clearly. Using your expert vision as an Aarakocra, able to kind of zoom in with those camera-like eyes. You see the area where the smoke was coming from, and you see it is indeed a structure. It is a dilapidated shack that had caught fire, and the fire seems now kind of be burning out. And you see no signs of life around the fire at all. Around the shack, no movement. Nothing that would indicate people or creatures in the area.
Can I see Xerxes at all? Or are they kind of like in the thick of the forest?
You might have to drop down a bit, but yeah, you can link back up with them. You have a sense of, we'll say that when you're up in the sky kind of following the party, you always kind of have a sense of where they are, so you're never getting too far lost.
Okay, well, I'll kind of go back down to the ground, kind of rejoin, I guess, the back half of the party, and just kind of explain that it seems like no one went in or out of the air, so it almost seems like a spontaneous combustion.
About how far are we out from this?
You are now, Xerxes has now led you, and with Zaki landing there, you are now kind of at the base of the hill that leads. You see this well-worn track, clearly a trail of some sort, leading up to what you can all now clearly see was once perhaps a nice rustic wooden shack here in the woods, but has since burned. You can smell now the smell of charred fire, and you just see now that this ruined. Perhaps the fire caused some of it. Perhaps it was already in disrepair. But this dilapidated shack sitting atop this hill with a path leading up to it.
Rock is gonna cast Mage Armor. He'll just start walking forward. That's it.
Okay. So you all do you guys follow? I'll make your way up.
Theron will follow with hand on hilt.
Okay.
Zakid will follow suit with Rock and Castle.
Okay. And Xerxes, you're up there with him too?
Yeah, Xerxes is actually he's ahead.
Okay,
like
so
he's
Xerxes.
kind of wanting to get the jump on anything that if there is something there. Knowing that his party is not far behind him.
Mm-hmm.
If he can stealthily come upon something to give them a hand up,
Yeah, Xerxes moving as quietly as you had originally. You arrive at the shack just before everyone else, and having a look around, it's quiet. Don't see anything.
Is there? Ooh, okay.
Oh, dope.
So standing before you now is your eyesight was confirmed. This was once not only a shack. It must have been a nice house of some sort. The woodwork looks finely made. It looks to be human in origin, not anything that you saw like with the elves, their architectural design. But it is in severe disrepair and in absolute shambles. Walls fallen in, caved in. The smoke was petered out now, but the smell of charred wood, destruction, linger in the air.
Urin is going to make his way up to the door. Still a little behind Xerxes here because he's ahead, but I'm going to start making my way up.
Okay. Yeah, and Xerxes will kind of stop. We'll just say he kind of stops where he's at right there, and waits for everybody to get up next to him, and then he'll kind of look at Rock and say, "It doesn't seem to me that people have been here for a long time. Should we be worried about a diversion?"
Rock starts to ritually cast Detect Magic, which will take 10 minutes, but starts to do that as they're walking.
Okay, for sure. So you see Rock pull out a spell book there and start to wave his hand in the air as he begins the incantations. And I'll let you know when that is cast.
And Xerxes will turn to Zakid and say, "Can you get a quick look at our wagons, just to make sure there's nobody there?"
Zakid will nod and head up, under the assumption they might be too deep in the brush to actually see, but I will do my best to have a look back.
Yeah, I'm saying just make sure that there's no people around them. Like look for movement around them.
Yeah. So Zakid will look out for like any kind of signs of life that aren't our own trail leading up to where we just came to.
All right, for sure. Zakid can go ahead and make a perception check. All right. Yep, still just the sounds of the forest. A strangely quiet scene.
So Xerxes will then look over at Theron and say, "I'll take a look. I'll take a quick peek. I don't really mind being around, fire and it's and what it leaves behind."
But I will come with you. I'm curious, as if maybe this was burnt to hide something of interest. So I'm going to pull my shield close in front of me, and I'm going to walk to the front door, and I want to investigate. I want to see if I can see anything out of the ordinary with my elfish eyes.
All right. Go ahead and make a investigation check with advantage, Darren. All right. Peering into the shack, you see just a nightmare collection of junk. You just see piles of torn and tattered clothing, piles. You see just piles of broken pottery, plates, sacks of what must have been contained inside something at some point. Old crates, what looks like old furniture, table, chairs, things made out of wood. It's a nightmarish collection of bric-a-brac. You see on the table on the north side of the house what appear to be just utensils, tools, forks, spoons, knives, and then beside it you see meat, rotted meat that's been going bad for some time. Flies buzzing around it, a horrible stench emanating from it. Theron, you also notice the fireplace on the eastern side of the wall. Curiously, was not the source of the fire that had been burning. The char marks are in fact coming from the south side. And the fireplace doesn't look like it's been used in some time.
Taking in the damage, Theron kind of turns around and tells Xerxes, the way some of this is disrupted, some of it's broken. It couldn't have been done by the fire. It looks like somebody was looking through this place, perhaps ransacking it. They could have killed the family, taken what they needed, and left. The fire was a means of hiding something. Something sinister is going on here. I can feel it. I can sense it. We must prepare ourselves. If it's not here, it's near.
So Xerxes is going to pull out his, upon hearing that, is going to pull out a dagger and proceed to go down around the bottom side of the bottom corner, and just kind of look around that side of the building.
All right, sounds good. While you do that, Xerxes, I am actually just going to run to the washroom real quick, guys. So go ahead and take 5 minutes if you need to. I'll be right back.
Sweet.
Sorry about that.
What is going on with this house?
Yeah, see, that's
a giant mimic.
yeah, that's well, oh, dude. Theron's standing inside the giant mimic.
Yeah, the maw.
No, that's why I was like, dude, it almost has to be like a diversion or something. But just because since it's been here, since there's rotted meat and all this other stuff, like, I don't know. That's why that's why I'm gonna look around the whole thing, look around the perimeter, and see if there's any signs of any kind of like recent movement.
Yeah, and he said this was human too, so that's interesting. I'm wondering if this is like bandits, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I also have my backup security alarm method if we want to see if anyone's in 100 feet.
Nice.
Under that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would do basically everything here.
Alrighty, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so everybody here, we're all good?
All good.
Alrighty. Alright, so Xerxes, you head around to the south side of the building there. Dagger drawn, keeping an eye out. You see that the path kind of it's well-worn, foot marks or just a well-worn path anyway, circling this dilapidated shack. Nothing that would suggest anybody in the area though that you can see.
Okay. Can I? Do I see kind of anything that makes me think that the fire was started from outside the house?
Investigating the fire. We'll go ahead and make an investigation check first. You do see the spot where the fire had been lit for sure. Let's see, have a closer look here.
Like it was lit from the outside.
The charred embers and where the fire seemed to originate seem to be on the inside of the shack, and you don't get a great look at what's going on. You're almost just distracted by the mess and just the chaoticness of it all. But you do see that some of this clothing is what had kind of been burning, and it seemed to be soaked in. So there's grease soaking some of it, and oils, things that seem to would have produced that thick black smoke from earlier, but you don't really get a good sense of what might have caused it to ignite.
So using, let me see what I got here. Right here. Actually, I'll just pick up one of like a board or something like that, or a stick, and just kind of start like digging through that pile, like moving to see if there was anything underneath it.
Okay. As you kind of peel your way through layers of you just keep coming across layer after layer of piled on, just like old scraps of. You see that now. So there's like canvas, there's jute, there's various materials, leather. There's lots of like it just seems just a chaotic, haphazard pile of fabrics, and textiles of all different sorts.
Okay. Rock is going to wait till his detect magic is active and then walk in.
Perfect. So your detect magic there just kicks in, Rock. And aside from the glowing, various glowing weapons and Zakid's boots, things on your party members there, strangely, nothing in this cabin suggests a magical presence. Now that, sorry, just as it is 30 feet, right? Okay, perfect. Okay, just good to know what it is around you, so we know.
So did Xerxes go around the whole perimeter of the building?
You're still just on the south side of the building there.
Okay.
Investigating the fire. Do you want to do a perimeter sweep?
Yeah, I do want to do a perimeter sweep.
Okay, so Xerxes makes his way across the south side as well. And then back up to the north. And yeah, you don't see anything.
Okay.
Fine, you make your way back, and you're now standing right by the entrance with Zakid again.
He's going to go check out
as I get back to
fireplace.
As I get back to Andros and Zakid, though, I just kind of report to him that I didn't see anything suspicious on the perimeter sweep. But it still seems, and tell them, like, the fire started in this pile of old rags and clothes and canvas and all kinds of stuff. But I don't see anything to make me think that it was necessarily done on purpose. Perhaps it was a combustion of the oils and stuff on these clothes. I'm not ruling out, that it was started on purpose, but I'm just saying it's possible that it wasn't.
Tyrion's gonna kind of look at Rock, investigating, just kind of ask him. So, with such a large flame, or at least smoke trail, isn't it odd that we're the only ones investigating this? Maybe perhaps we should report this to the guard at Bysaes Tyl. Something is definitely wrong here.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Maybe Zakid is right to watch our backs, because maybe some people will come look for it. Right?
Yes, and a pile of clothing of that size, and one bed. This is truly suspicious.
And Rock is going to investigate this fireplace.
All right, go ahead and make an investigation check. You search it fairly well, up and down inside the chimney, up the flue. It doesn't look as though there has been a fire made here in some time. Any of the remaining fuel and the spent wood that's in there is very, very old. There's even cobwebs across it. And stone is very cold to the touch. It does not appear like there's anything going on in the fireplace.
And Rock turns to Theron and says, maybe we should look for like a cellar door down to a basement or something. I feel like we're missing something here.
Agreed. Let's check perhaps maybe under this rug?
Sure, yeah. I think Rock just wants to do a sweep of the room, see if there's any cellar, trapdoor, or something down low, or a basement.
Right. I will begin looking.
Can I help with that investigation, looking for anything that's like stacked with purpose?
Absolutely, yeah. Why don't we just have everybody who wants to take a look around the room, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Andros is still staying outside.
Okay, good to know. Okay, so as Zakid,
Ryan, will you roll one up for me?
Yeah, for sure. Xerxes is also going to take a look around the room. All right. So you all kind of just divide into different corners, kind of sifting through. It's disgusting work. Some of the wood is old and rotted. It's very unpleasant. Surprised you don't see any, a few like tiny rats and things like that, but like nothing bigger. Rock, you do when you're stepping over the table that's broken in the middle of the or I guess moving around it, being that you're a gnome. You do step on a piece of porcelain of another broken dish on the ground, but you see that it's in the shape of a teapot, an interesting kind of looking teapot that kind of, for some reason, piques your interest. It seems that there is a substance still in the teapot.
Check it out.
As you pick it up and take a look inside, you see dried to the sides is a liquid that was once in this pot, and in the bottom of it sits a strange root. A root that you've... well, perhaps you've seen it, perhaps you haven't, but it's a strange-looking root in the bottom of this teapot.
With like a covered hand, like I pulled a little handkerchief out. Pick up the root. Collect it somehow, wrap it up, I guess. I guess I'll show Theron. I'll show Theron before I wrap it up.
Okay.
Can't say I've seen this before myself. Interesting how it survived the flame, though.
Yeah, it was in this small teapot over here. He just looks up.
Maybe the others? Should take a look.
We'll go out and show the others.
Okay, Zaki, Xarxius, you guys get shown the Andros. You notice this from the inside too, that Rock is kind of passing around and showing this strange-looking root that you found that had been made into some kind of a tea in this teapot, presumably.
Do I make a roll?
No, you're good. Yeah, no skill check needed there. If anybody would like to try to identify the root, though, feel free to make a roll.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, go ahead and make a nature check.
I'm gonna take a stab at it as well.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Ooh. Doesn't ring any bells for you, Zakid. But Andros, you're able to identify the root. And we'll flash that on screen. Alright, so we're going to put it, because Rock still has it in his inventory. He says he was walking around with it, so we're going to put it in his inventory here. And Andros, you identified this root as allure. So the description is up in the chat.
That's what I'm talking about.
Some Heaven's Gate looking shit going on here, boys.
So Andros recognizes it, and who has it in their hands?
Rock does, but he'll give it to you if you want it.
No. No, he looks at it and just goes, ugh, devil's tea. Be best to drop it.
Depending on what Rock wants to do, Zakid seemed intrigued to use it as a cooking ingredient. Having no idea what it is.
After hearing that from Andros, Rock offers it to anybody. Kind of holds it out.
Zakid will take it and put it in his pack.
All right. Just move that from.
Doesn't even hesitate.
No.
Give me that.
My role doesn't dictate me knowing anything about it, so.
Tonight, we dine with the Winged Mother.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a tasty root, guys.
All right. So, Rock, you pass that over to Zaki, who wraps it up and adds it to your herbal inventory. Andros, as you're posted up outside there, you start to hear a crunching sound coming through the snow. The unmistakable sound of footprints as someone or something is approaching.
Do I know it from what direction?
From the northwest.
North. All right. Can I make my way over there?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I make my way towards the sound.
Trying to cut it off.
Trying to keep the distance between myself, the noise, and the any entrance to the house.
Okay, perfect. And as you make your way into position there, Andros, you see in the distance, in the trees, head down, as if not noticing you, but it's a single solitary figure, humanoid, red robes, making his way towards you, head down.
I take one of my javelins and I throw it. How far away is this individual?
He's probably standing. We'll say, hold on. I'll measure it out. Let's not even guess. Yeah, so he's probably about 50 feet away from you.
Okay. I take my javelin and I throw it and I aim 30 yards to the, we'll say to the east of him. Not toward, in his direction, but I want it to land 30 feet to his right as sort of like a diversion, so that it quickly grabs his attention away from the cabin.
Okay. Go ahead and just make a javelin attack roll just for fun.
We can do that. Ugh.
All right. Not like you had to be super accurate with it though, so you're able to get javelin out and huck it in the area that you were looking for. Makes a sound as it whacks into a tree, shakes some snow off a branch. The man in the robes, you see his head dart in that direction. Instantly look. You see a flash of his face. You see pale skin. Possibly human. Possibly not. And flash as he withdraws a dagger from his pouch and begins making his way towards the sound.
Can I take cover in one of these trees?
Absolutely. Jump into a tree, make a stealth check.
I'm fucking huge, so.
Do any of us hear any of this?
You would have seen Andros throwing the javelin, even if he had not announced his plans. Yeah, so through the slits in the house, you probably would have seen. Yeah, you definitely would have seen Andros throwing the javelin, and come to attention that something has caught his attention here. So.
All right, noticing the javelin throw, I'm going to make my way out of the house.
Okay.
Okay. For some reason, I can't. How do I make my sheet smaller? I'm on a Chromebook and I can't fucking get down.
Shitty.
I can't scroll down to my stealth check. Awesome. I can only go to.
Oh, that's shitty. Yeah, so it's in the very bottom right corner. If you can't get to it, to your sheet, but like, yeah. If you need me to bring that up for you, I'll flash it on the screen at least. Hopefully you can.
Yeah, I can't even. Oh wait, here we go. Maybe if I zoom out. There we go. Sweet.
So, are there any like openings or spots in the wall that I can exit through the north, like the north wall?
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah, it's clusterfucky, but there'd probably be a way you could like squeeze through you know, it wouldn't be graceful, but you'd be able to drag yourself through the debris and get yourself to the other side.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
I rolled a 6 on stealth.
Okay. All right, so Xarxius, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go out the north wall.
Okay. So as you attempt to make your way through the north wall there, and Andros, as you jump into the tree and kind of just shake it, as your big form lands inside the boughs, and you see like snow kind of start to like shake off it, you do notice the man in the robes who you had an eyes on turn. All right, no worries there, Rock. Sucks that you can't hear, but we'll catch him up.
Yep.
He locks eyes towards where the sound came from, the tree that you jumped in, Andros, and he begins to make his way towards the dilapidated shack at a good brisk pace. You see his face. You see his face now, and he seems to be muttering to himself. You can almost start to hear him now. More. Must gather more.
I'm probably putting us all into danger, but I'm going to. I'm gonna rush out towards this guy. Axe drawn. Axe in my right hand, and I'm gonna put my left hand up and say, "Halt!"
Man arrives on the scene. He comes to a dead stop in front of you, Andros. 10 feet away.
And is Xarxius outside yet?
Yeah, Xarxius, you were on the outside on the north side, so you're, do you have access to the map there? Can you see?
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
So I am going to kind of head around this tree here, just to kind of like, you know, get this flank. But I'm totally waiting on Andros. Like, I'm trying not to arouse a suspicion or anything like that.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you get around to the other side, and he kind of notices you go, Xarxius, but he doesn't seem to do anything. He still has his dagger drawn. You still see him muttering, "They did not want me, but I saw the goddess's messenger. She flies amongst these trees. I do not need them."
Andros is gonna again say, "Halt and lay down your weapon."
Must hoard more. Must make the goddess happy. Then they will see. It's as if he didn't even hear you, Andros.
I'm okay. Noticing that he's not advancing or anything like that. Andros is going to attempt to. Okay, so I'm 5 feet away.
10 or so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say 10.
Given my large size, would I be able to jump towards him and attempt to tackle him?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll use grappling rules here. So I think that's just a general strength check, right? A grapple.
I like it. Ability check.
Yeah, it's just it's actually an athletics check.
Even better.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll.
All right, so he's got to make a dexterity check to avoid that. Which he does not.
Let's go.
Two big orc arms wrap around the man. He still has his dagger in his hand, but he is wrapped up successfully in your arms there. And he's wriggling in your grasp, Andros. Must hoard more! Must make the goddess happy! Then they will see!
Okay, I'm just gonna wrap him up and kind of hope that the commotion of all of this has aroused the party and see what they want to do.
So I'm upon seeing Andros take him down, did you take him to the ground or you just have him wrapped up?
I imagine I have him in a more confined full Nelson.
Okay, perfect. So Xarxius, seeing this, will walk over towards him, and as I want to look into his eyes to see if his pupils are dilated.
He's high as fuck.
Oh,
Nice.
he's tripping, bud.
Oh yeah.
All right, Xarxius, no skill check needed. This man's eyes are as wide as moon pies.
Okay. So
glassy black eyes.
So Xarxius would be like, we'll look at Andros and kind of just get a smirk on his face, and he'll say, "I think our friend here is responsible for the tea. Let's take him inside and see if we can figure out what he's collecting and for who."
Andros asked them, do you have anything to restrain him with?
I think I have a rope. Let me see. If I do, I will. I have a whip. I whip shove. Let's see. I do have a rope, so I have 50 feet of rope. So I will go over and kind of restrain him. Actually, I'm gonna tie his feet together, and then
You're gonna hog tie him?
no, not completely hog tie, but tie his feet together so he can't run. And then Zakid's got manacles. There you go.
Ooh, nice.
And then just be like, Andros, bring him in.
All right, so definitely with the combined efforts of all five of you on this one weak individual, no problem. Despite him kind of flopping like a fish in your arms there, Andros, no way he's escaping your grasp, and you guys are able to get him successfully bound, and have brought him. You guys are bringing him into the shack? Question?
Yep, bring him into the shack.
All right, so able to drag him in. He's still putting up a bit of a spirited fight, but less so at this time now that he knows got this hempen rope wrapped tightly around him.
And as I bring him in, I just kind of I push him through the door, but I'm gentle with him, and I explain to the group that saw this man wandering outside. Not sure if he's connected to this fire. However, he seems to be under the influence of that, and he points over to Rock again. He goes, "That wicked weed over there." Not his fault. Let's question him, but not hold it against him.
It's gonna be hard to get anything of worth from him. He seems to be pretty lost.
Realizing he's kind of in a stupor and he's muttering about a goddess, Zakid is going to cast light upon himself to kind of make himself seem kind of like a holy figure of sorts. Okay. And I'm going to question him and say, "Tell me, what is your goddess seek?"
Okay, as you kind of light up an aura around him, and he kind of just looks at you. He looks you up and down, Zakid. He sees the things you're wearing, looks at your clothes, and says, "You have many lovely things. I will make them mine now." He tries to lunge forward in your grasp, Andros, but, he's going nowhere, but still making a spirited effort.
So Zakid is going to cast Charm Person and see if I can kind of calm him down and make him more friendly to us.
Right. Charm goes out, and you see the intensity that was in his eyes. You see his face kind of relax. And instead of looking at you all with, kind of desperation, he now has just kind of a goofy grin on his face. He just kind of laughs. See all my things? See all my pretty things in this house?
Is this your house?
Yes, but not only mine, also for the goddess. A temple I make for her.
Who's your goddess?
And the cultist, Zakid, he nods towards a earthen pot in this pile over here. See her symbol. I keep safe.
I will take a look at this pot.
Inside, you hear a jangling noise as you pick it up. As you turn it over, falls to the ground. And we are going to throw this in your towards key. Shit, did I make it? Oh yeah, I did. Okay.
Is there still a ceiling in this
So
place? How tall is the ceiling?
We'll say it's about like a standard house.
Okay.
House size
10 foot or
ceiling,
so?
maybe like
8 foot?
nothing more than nothing more than 15 feet, maybe at its peak. But yeah, obviously damage, sunken in. There's giant holes and stuff. All right, so Zakid, into your hands, you pick up this mysterious pendant, which seems to depict a scaled claw on a chain.
Zakid is going to pick up the pendant and kind of hastily go over to Rock and ask him if he has any idea what this might be.
Rock will take a look at it, investigate it.
All right.
And I'll Zakid will kind of motion to Theron as well, being, more of the holy sort. You might know it as something religious over something magical.
Yeah, for sure.
I will also, I'll attempt to investigate it as well, yeah.
Okay, for sure. Everybody can make either... I would say, Rock, I'm going to let you re-roll that. I would say either make a religion or a history check, your choice.
Okay.
And anybody else who wants to take a stab at identifying as well.
Okay. A little bit better.
I'll try.
For sure. So, Zakid, you had a suspicion of what this symbol might represent, and bringing it over to Rock, he tells you and he confirms what he believes. This is a symbol of Tiamat, the scaled tyrant.
Yeah, this doesn't look good. Tiamat's not a very nice deity.
A very powerful symbol, one we should definitely be cautious of.
cultist as he sees you. He's still bound there, and he sees you passing around his symbol, and he's under the effect of the charm spell. He's just kind of swaying in front of you, Andros. He's like, "Yes, my beautiful goddess. Her symbol. Look upon it. Look upon the beauty."
Yeah, Andros is just gonna slap him once, backside of the head. Say, "Shut up."
Can we tell if this pendant is just a symbol or if it's emanating anything magical?
Rock had cast detect
right.
magic earlier, and it just seems to be a normal symbol. Rock, what you can tell now though with that spell still active, in addition to all the magical items on your party members, is the only thing you saw. You see that this cultist, the dagger that he has still in his possession, is also magical.
I'll point that out to everybody.
Yeah, Zakid's gonna kind of walk up to him, just see him still charmed, and
I guess you guys probably. Sorry to interrupt, Zaki. I guess you guys hog-tied the guy. You probably would have taken his dagger away. Am I guessing that correctly?
That is correct.
Yeah, just because you guys specifically said it. Okay. So the dagger that you had taken away from him and is now it's just sitting on the kind of side table there that you put it away for now. Yes, it seems to be glowing and emanating magical aura.
So I guess I'll motion over to Xerxes and say, perhaps maybe you can make use of this.
And Xerxes will look up because he hasn't really been paying attention, and I'll tell you guys exactly what I've been doing. But Xerxes will look up and say, "Oh, okay," and he'll grab it and kind of just put it in his pack.
Okay. So Xerxes, you now have. Just get the seed.
And just for flavor,
Yes, sir.
I did not hear that it was magical.
Okay.
Because that's how not paying attention to everything I've been. Okay, so what I have been doing is so I pulled out my water skin and I took a couple pretty good drinks of it, and then I, as quietly as possible, poured the rest of it out, and I want to collect what is remaining of that tea into my water skin, and I'm trying to do it kind of nonchalantly, not being overly sneaky about it, but kind of the hide in plain sight type thing.
Nice. Okay.
All
right. Just
kind of the thing that if they see it, then oh well. If they don't, even better.
You wouldn't deny it if they were, pointed it out.
Right.
But you're not making efforts to make a great show of.
Hey
guys, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for fun, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check, just for fun.
Okay. Sweet.
So Zakid identified this, but at this point in time, am I able to tell that this is a pendant of Tiamat?
Yeah, we would have told you.
You weren't just initially off your first instinct there, but okay, there you go. Yeah, so Rock and Zakid would have announced this. Yeah.
So Theron is gonna take great offense to this. Okay, because Tiamat is in direct. Basically, the presence of this guy spits in the face of Bahamut. Mm-hmm. So Theron is getting pretty pissed. So he's actually gonna draw his sword, and he's gonna show aggression toward this cultist. And actually, I'm gonna recommend we kill him. Bahamut would want me to kill him. You spit in the face of my religion.
And Xerxes will look up from trying to funnel this into his water skin. We'll kind of look up at him and just kind of get a smirk on his face and then look back down. He's completely checked out on that whole thing.
So he's actually I'm gonna step in front of Zakid here. I will do you this favor, Cultist. I will make it quick.
He's got a big grin on his face, and as you have just a look of anger that guys that the party hasn't seen on your face, Theron, since a couple nights ago around the campfire. And as you're pointing this sword directly at him, he kind of, the cultist with his goofy grin, just kind of exposes his neck a little more, leans forward, and just rests his throat right on the tip of the sword, and is just smiling at you.
Andros, let him go now. I am no coward and will not kill a bounded man, but I will not stay my hand any longer. And then I will slowly, almost as if part of me is wanting somebody to interfere, I'm going to slowly raise my hand at this. And I am getting, I'm going to prepare to swing.
I was muted. He's still bound.
He's still bound, tied up. You're just kind of holding the back of his ropes, and he's to keep him like straight up. And he's now kind of leaning forward into Theron's sword. Now Theron, in response to that, is kind of drawing back as if he's about to plunge it into his throat.
Yeah, I'm just he's just gonna look at Theron and just gonna sidestep him and just say, "Have at it, he's yours."
With a gentle grin, I'm gonna swing directly across this man's throat. Not a word. I'm gonna hold after the follow through. I'm gonna hold. Almost as if I'm kind of speaking to Bahamut, but you won't hear any words.
Oh man, okay. Well, and utterly helpless and incapacitated, no attack roll needed. The blade of your sword through his throat. See a final ecstatic look enter the man's face, and he kind of just managed to spit out, "For the goddess, may I feast at her claws." And he expires on the ground.
Theron kind of standing up. I'm gonna wipe his blood off my sword on his rags, almost as if it's a disrespect to have it on my sword. And I'm gonna slowly sheath and stand up straight, just in silence.
So upon seeing this, I assume Zarcius is done collecting this and puts his water skin back in his bag, or ties it back on his belt.
Oh yeah. Not in that process with that roll. Not only were you able to get that teapot, but you actually found another teapot. You were able to get 2 good servings of this stuff.
Sweet. So so then as I'm tying that on my belt, I look over and see this all happening, and I just kind of nonchalantly walk over to Rock and say, "What was that about?"
So I'll turn to Zakid. Do you still have the pendant?
Zakid is he's kind of holding it by the string. He hasn't thought much about it since he identified it, but still in hand. He's just gonna hold it forward. He says, "I do."
I'll take that then. I'm just gonna kind of grab it out of his hand. Not even waiting for a response. I'm just gonna grab it.
Hey, put up no fight.
All right, so
just I'll step aside.
All right, the pendant is now in your possession, Theron.
Well, I say we get back. This filth. I don't want to be in here any second longer. Just marching over his body.
Okay.
I'm acting under the assumption there's nothing else on this cultist's body.
Make an investigation check. So as his clearly dead body now, as you unbind the ropes and you kind of now are able to go more carefully through his pockets, the various pockets on his body, you find 18 silver pieces. Other than that, though, nothing really save for now blood-stained robes.
So,
yeah.
Xerxes will look at Rock and say, I guess that means we should leave. And kind of just turn and start walking outside.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. That wrapped up quickly.
And so as the final people walk out, is Zakib leaving?
Yeah.
Okay. As everybody, like, as I want to be the last person out, and as we're walking out, I want to turn around and I want to cast Firebolt at the body laying on the ground and burn it.
Okay.
Just to hopefully like make it look like, you know, it was a casualty of the fire type thing.
For sure. All right. As the firebolt leaves your hands, kind of smolders a bit on his cold robes, but then catches the dry rope still hanging around him. Or wait, did you take the rope back? I'm guessing you probably took your rope back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Regardless.
Well, I mean, I guess
body.
Andros had it. He untied him whenever.
Right. Whoever's
there
rope it was originally, now back in your inventory. And you're able to, with the cantrip, you're able to put as much fire on this guy as needed to set him alight, and his body now burning.
And then Xerxes is going to turn around and like walk away, like in normal speed, but like in slow motion, like as if he was walking away from an explosion.
The Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Around as the Zord explodes.
Exactly. Yep.
Awesome. All right. So the party makes their way back, retracing their steps back to the carts. It's now about noon, and Seawald and Delandra are there, ever as always, and are ready to continue the journey whenever you are.
I guess just before we left there, could I retrieve my manacles?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. After he was killed, all binds and all that, you guys were able to take back and put your inventory.
Cool.
For sure. Xerxes, on the way back you're able to get a better look at your dagger, and you realize it is in fact a +1 dagger that you have picked up from this cultist.
Sweet. By investigation, would I know that it's magic?
You would. Well, Rock had pointed it out to you all, so yeah, you would know it's.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh right, you weren't paying attention. Yeah. Well, go ahead and make a. No, it crosses your mind. I wonder if this is magical. This dagger. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't need attunement or anything like that, so. Nah, just looks like a dagger. Just looks like a cool dagger.
Sweet, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, right on. Right on.
So I guess I'll hitch the horses back to the carriage and slowly move them back onto the pathway.
Beautiful.
And Xerxes will, slide the dagger back in his bag and, head out ahead.
Okay. Perfect. So as you guys head back out on the road, another uneventful afternoon of travel following that meeting this strange man in the woods, and you find yourself and killing him, indeed. And as the sun grows heavy, you guys once more find yourselves in camp for the evening.
More Zakid will make some dinner.
I will take first watch. And then I'll kind of just like, I'll stay exactly where I am, but I still have that pendant in my hand, pondering it. Just admitting that I will take first watch and not really kind of saying anything else.
So Xerxes not taking one the last time will take second.
And Zakid, just as everyone else falls asleep, he's gonna kind of stay awake. Just for a few moments. He's not going to take watch, but he's going to talk to Theron before he sleeps.
So as everybody else in the party kind of nestles in for the night and is able to slumber in, and Theron kind of dangling this Tiamat medallion in his hands, kind of just swinging it around, just looking at it as he watches the woods. Zakid, you're able to make your way over there.
Yeah, so Zakid just gonna, cautiously walk towards there. Not so much that he's worried about any type of danger, but obviously knowing that he can't through something that is either traumatizing or at least got his blood boiling. He's just gonna walk towards him and just say, "Are you okay, my friend?"
Honestly, I didn't know followers of Tiamat had made it this far. All I will say to you, my friend, is they also made their way into the grove, to my temple. I will kill whoever I see who follow Tiamat, without question or hesitation.
I understand your feelings towards them, but all I caution is do not become as hideous as they.
Kind of just hearing what Zakid said, almost as if he never really thought about becoming what he swore to kill. Just pauses. I will bring this medallion to where we go. Perhaps the elves will have seen more of it. But if they have, I sincerely hope you aid me in tracking them down.
Zakid will look up at him, like a scene from Lord of the Rings. And just say, "You have my rope dart." And then
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna put a hand on his shoulder and just say, "You always have my support."
I will give you a nod of understanding.
And then I will let Theron get back to his pondering, and I will kind of roll out my bedroll and kind of lay down.
All right. So Theron, while you're keeping watch, go ahead and make a perception check.
Right.
First watch. Night goes by relatively quietly. However, at a certain point, probably around midnight, in the distance, in the sky, unmistakably large shape passes in front of the moon and the stars. And just with that perception check, you're not able to get really a good read on what this thing might be, but you definitely saw a large blackened shape, unmistakable, and it was skybound.
Kind of not knowing what it was, Internally, he thinks it was the Platinum Dragon. It was Bahamut. I am on the right path.
Nice. You almost hear a distant roar cry out in that moment as if to agree with you. Was it a bear, or was it old Bahamut himself? Who knows? As your watch comes to an end, Theron, and Xerxes, you pick up for the rest of the night. Go ahead and make a perception check, Xerxes. All right. As night passes, you too get a vision of something in the sky. Black and in the distance, flying, blocking out the moon for a brief moment, passing in front of stars, and then dipping beyond the tree line as best as you can see in the night.
So
Bit unnerving.
Xerxes will take this in and kind of, add it to his memory. Not really alert anybody right now, but he's gonna spend his watch, basically sitting here, and he's gonna practice. He pulls out some playing cards and starts practicing some sleight of hand tricks that he has and stuff like that with them. And after doing that for a little while, he will start just tossing them at Rock and seeing how many he can land on him while he's sleeping.
Very nice, very nice. Just for fun, make a sleight of hand check to see how your little evening goes. Nice.
Yeah. You're covered.
So
Yes.
as Rock slumbers, you're deftly chucking them. Some are poking into his beard, and some are expertly slipping in onto his robe. But by the end of the morning, as the sun kind of comes up on you guys and your watch comes to an end there, Xerxes, Rock, you come awake and you notice there's a pile of playing cards. You hadn't noticed.
This is unusual.
And so Xerxes will pull out his as he sees Rock starting to move around, he'll pull out his duck that Rock gave him and put it on the ground and let it go towards him.
Nice.
Zakid's gonna go for a morning forage.
Alright. Zakid searching around. More berries. And this time you do actually manage to snap up a nice juicy rabbit that morning. It seemed to be crossing in front of you. So, fresh meat.
Yeah, Zakid's just gonna dress the rabbit, pack it up, and start packing his gear to get back on the road.
Alright.
Yep, Xerxes will do the same thing. He'll pick up, take the duck and the playing cards and put them in his pack and put the pack on. And as he's doing that, he will just mention to the entire party, guys, I'm pretty sure I saw something pretty big fly through the sky. I mean, there's only a few things that it could probably be, but just so you guys know, I couldn't see any color or anything. Just wanted you guys to know, and I'll put on my pack and start walking forward or walking ahead.
Alright, as the group takes in this information, you guys are able to make your way back to the carts. Seawald already has the carts kind of packed up there, and it actually starts to drizzle a bit of snow again. He kind of bundles up and says, "Well then, slept well, hopefully. Tell you the truth, I didn't really. I think I saw something in the sky. I don't know about the rest of you. I think something might be stuck in our carts. I've had a bad feeling for a few days now.
You days? Is this not the first? You've seen it?
Well, to be fair, Theron, it's just been a feeling to this point. But last night, I swear, I saw something in the sky, dark, big. Oh, there's some scary creatures in these woods, especially this far north. We're only a few days out from Bysaes. We're only 2 days out from Bysaes Tyl now. I say we make haste to the city. I don't want to stick around out here too much longer.
Aaron's not going to say anything, but he's confused by this, because at first, I think he thought he was the only one to see this. He thought it was a sign, but maybe it could be something more. So internally, he's struggling a bit.
Okay.
Akid is going to be oblivious to all of this. He's going to be sitting in the rear wagon, looking backwards. I'm going to scribble on my map one more time where the burnt out shack was, and then I'm going to keep an eye out for it.
Right, perfect. So you mark that on your map, keeping watch of where you've been, and not far now from the city. As you guys make your way off, it's 10:11 now. What do you guys? Our time, 9:11 your guys' time. Do you guys want to keep playing for a bit till 10:30 or so, or you guys got to wrap up?
I'm good to go to 10:30.
Yeah, I'm good with the party.
Yeah, it sounds good.
I'm good with whatever.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so moving on, making your way outwards, taking your normal positions in the party. Xarxius taking the lead. Xarxius, go. Anybody who wants to make a perception check from the carts, go ahead and do so. Xarxius, make your stealth check and your perception check as well.
Ooh.
Watching that pendant the entire way.
truly crippled Theron here. He is not himself.
All right, so Xarxius, as you were making your way ahead of the rest of the players, or rest of the characters, I should say, sorry guys, just get some. Okay, so as you guys progress on throughout the day, as the horses clop on the path, snow starts to come down a little thicker. It's kind of picking up the snow now. And Xarxius, as you get to about mid-morning or so, and you notice something very unusual on the side of the path. It is a human, frozen solid in a case of ice.
Is there any other, like any, I don't know, caves or anything that people could be hiding around here? Like, is it, well, I guess what I should say, like, does the ice, like, does it look like it could have been a spell or something like that? Like, is the ice, like, neatly cut and all that stuff, or is it, like, is this somebody that just died and froze? Or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Yeah, from your analysis of looking at it, from the way that the icicles kind of seem to hang off on an angle to one side, it's almost like ice was blown onto this man.
Okay. So
we're going to say the rest of the group catches up with you in the carts as you're observing the scene on the side of the road there. This man encased in ice.
Yeah. So after investigating this guy, I will look around to all these trees and stuff around here just to see if there's anything that looks suspicious. You know, like there might be people hiding.
Absolutely, make an investigation check. You do notice deeper into the woods, a few paces away from the frozen human, seems to be another frozen creature right here to the top, far northeast of your map. And this seems to be an elf, also frozen, encased in ice in the same way.
So I will look back at the party and kind of motion them to come over towards me.
Rock definitely wants to come investigate.
Carts have stopped. Seawall, Delandra, holding the carts inside of the road while you guys pile out.
And as Theron approaches, I will point over towards the elf and say, "It looks like it's one of yours."
Not a word. I'll just make my way toward.
Where's the elf?
Yeah, toward the elf.
Okay. And Rock, you've just taken a good look at the human.
I really want to see if there's some kind of magical. If I can tell there's a magical means that this was done rather than just physical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from your knowledge base as a wizard, Rock, you can determine and spend with that investigation check with pretty sure certainty that this man was frozen by way of some sort of magic.
Be ready, everyone. Some kind of wizard or something about.
So, can I? I'm trying to figure out exactly how it would work. Can I use Firebolt to try to thaw this guy out?
I don't see why not.
Just to see if this, like, if I could melt it, and then maybe if this magical freeze maybe is not, maybe he's not
and
dead.
Rock is willing to help out too with his firebolt if necessary. If more power is needed.
Okay. So we'll say the two of you kind of standing there, kind of hands together, and you're able to kind of, in a controlled way with the cantrip, just kind of melt in chunks without trying to hit the man behind the ice. You're able to melt off the exterior layers of the ice. More and more comes dripping off as you get closer and closer to his body, being careful not to burn him. As the ice begins to actually melt away from the body itself and expose him there, you both quickly realize that this man is dead. There's no saving him. His skin is pure white, black, all life absolutely frozen out of him. Just a corpse at this point.
Xarxius will look at Rock and say, maybe the elf could live through this, and since elves are magical in nature, maybe they can live through this. Maybe we should try him. And so, as Rock walks away, Xarxius is gonna bend down and search for any kind of loot on this guy.
All right, go for it. Make an investigation check.
Zakid is gonna look in judgment.
It's okay. I didn't find anything.
Yeah, everything
Everything
seems to be just absolutely still, frozen in place to the side of him. So you're not able to really. Yeah.
Xarxius looks over at Zakid and says, "I was looking for clues," and then just stands up and walks towards the elf.
All right, so you guys are going to try to do the same thing to the elf here?
Well, first Xarxius is going to walk up to Theron and say, we melted the other guy to see if he was, if he was dead, and he is. Do you think it's possible if we melted this elf, or the ice off this elf, do you think that his magical, properties would keep him alive?
I looked. I couldn't see anything that would give me an indication of who belongs to. But if he had time, get into a meditative state, maybe it's worth a try. Then I'll kind of step back and let them go through.
Okay, so we'll go melt him as well. Or Xarxius will step forward. I guess I can't speak for Rock.
Oh yeah, Rock will help too.
For sure. Awesome. All right, so as the snow starts to come down a little thicker now onto you guys, you guys repeat the same process with this elf here. Being careful not to burn his body, chipping away the outer layers first. You get an arm exposed, his chest starts to go free of ice, and his face. And, he doesn't look as frozen as the other individual. And as the flames continue to warm him, you see an unmistakable flicker of life in the eyes. And one eye kind of start to shudder, even though his mouth is still kind of frozen in open shock there. You guys continue to... Yeah, go ahead.
As we see this, I want to motion to Theron to get him to come over, because I don't want this elf to be alarmed,
Okay. Seeing that he's starting to kind of gain or possible signs of consciousness in Elvish, I will ask him, what has happened?
You guys continue to warm him, and you see eyes kind of flicker open a bit, and then he's kind of able to actually start wriggling and moving slowly at first, but then slowly getting more and more life. And he's able to move his mouth. And he says to you, Theron, in Elvish, dragon.
Sorry.
And he expires in front of you.
Theron's eyes just widen. Everybody, help me with his body. Get back to the cart now.
So, what did you say? Doug, did you say you want to take him?
Yes, let's take him back.
Okay. So Xarxius will at least aid, but if I can grab him and throw him over my shoulder, I'll carry him.
I'll
Alright.
try and do the same with the human.
So, Rock, being within earshot there, you would have understood what the elf was saying there in his language, being that you speak Elvish.
I'll hustle to the cart. Let's get ready.
Okay. So you guys bring the elf back to the cart. Okay. What is it? What's going on?
Let's move now toward Bysaes Tyl. We have to go.
Don't have to tell me twice. Ha! And with that, the horses start to clip clop down the path. Are you you're making haste at a fast pace now, or?
And
I would say yes.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm staying ahead at that same, the best I can. If it's
Perfect. Yeah, so you're at a fast pace. You won't be able to maintain stealth anymore, but you still will be able to go a good distance ahead and be able to signal if you see anything interesting.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll do, actually, as we travel, can I search the elf's body?
Yeah, absolutely. The elf who has unfortunately expired was only able to get out that one word before he did. Go ahead and make an investigation on him, Zaki. All right. So on this elf, you find a coin pouch containing 17 gold pieces. And little else, really, say for a simple sword. Little else to indicate who he was or why he was out this way. Okay. So as you guys continue on at a good pace down the road, hour or two go by, and Xerxes, you notice off the side of the trail an unmistakable path leading to what could be an area of interest. It looks like some cliffs kind of wind themselves. I'm actually just going to bring you back to the Wildemount map. Some kind of cliffs, and you guys have made your way very close to Bysaes Tyl. So you see a couple cliffs that kind of like squeeze your way through into a little path, and it leads to kind of a little a hill, and you can almost make out the opening to a cave entrance. This is just sitting off the side of the road.
So did you say I saw that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will wait for them. Well, I'll kind of go back just a little bit, but so that like to where before they can see the cave. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just be like, there's a cave up here. I didn't see anything. You know, like, well, I guess I didn't see anything outside the cave. Do you want me to do an investigation check?
Yeah, you can make an investigation check.
Just do.
Anybody who's keeping an eye out anybody wants to keep an eye out, make a perception check.
So what does that give me for like what I see around the cave? You know,
for sure.
My rolls.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You guys, you dialed right into this. And I'm going to say all four of you were able to make out, once again, moving across the sky, a figure. And it's hard to tell with the white of the clouds, but it seems to be a white flying figure. Dip across the sky. And land just behind the cave.
So Xerxes will turn and be like, I think this thing might have made our ice cubes back there.
And Theron will kind of just let loose. Dragon! Move! Kind of like pointing toward Bysaes Tyl.
And Theron, Xerxes is very on board with that plan, and we'll just start moving towards Bysaes Tyl.
Okay, so you guys continue on towards the city then?
Yeah.
Zaki is slightly like he's intrigued by this creature.
Oh boy.
He does eventually concede to the party towards Bysaes Tyl.
Okay. So you guys continue on the road north then, making haste. But as you do, you're able to get a few more hours away. You're able to say you ride until the evening starts to get a little heavy, and the sun starts to get heavy in the sky. You're continually looking out for this thing that you thought you might have saw. Does not seem to be pursuing, or you see no other signs of it or anything. And in fact, you just see your first signs of someone else on the road besides those frozen characters in a while. You see an approaching caravan or cart of some sort making its way towards you down the road as the sky grows heavy here. You see it's a caravan, 2 carts, 2 horses, staffed by a crew of elvish-looking individuals. And you just start to cross paths with them as you continue to make your way north here.
So
Here will kind of draw their attention. Oh, yo, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, as Xarxius sees them, he's going to, go back towards the party and walk over, go over to the wagon that Theron's on, and be like, there are some elves up ahead. Perhaps you should, proceed first. And maybe they know who this guy is. Point at the frozen elf in the wagon.
He will say, "Don't forget that symbol we will give us in the forest."
And Xarxius will. Does Xarxius have that? Who has that?
I think Farron did.
Okay.
Given
I think.
Yeah, the pendant.
Okay, perfect. Then yeah. So yeah, take that with you.
Of course. Just accepting the advice. And I'm going to move forward toward the elves.
Okay.
Just trying to
Alright, so
try to draw the shit. Almost like waving.
as you do, they approach. Ho, the one leading the main cart. Ho there, traveler. Are you heading to the city? We're just coming from there. And he says this to you in Elvish, Theron, but with an accent that you can tell he's not a wild elf. This is a city dweller. Oh, did we lose Theron? We got a sorry boys.
Oh, you guys still hear me?
Hey,
still in chat?
Yep, we got you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
My voice connection is low, so I might pop in and out. But okay, so I heard you say they're gonna speak in Elvish.
Oh,
okay.
Good. Yeah, so speaking in Elvish to you, and he just says, "Ho, traveler, are you headed towards the city? We're just coming from there."
There's no time to waste. There's a dragon in our tail. We must go back to the city.
Dragon, you say?
Indeed. It's been following us. I guess it appears for some time, although I haven't noticed. Cart driver.
The Elvish cart driver who you've encountered now looks towards his other cart. They share uneasy glances. If what you say is true, we should be on our guard, and we thank you for the warning. But we've been tasked with delivering these goods. I'm afraid it's just something we're going to have to risk.
Risk? I understand. Are you not aware that you have lost a soldier already? You know this? Do you know this elf we have here? And he points kind of at the cart that has the elf body.
Upon them seeing the body, the corpse there, they he shakes his head. I'm afraid that individual, not known to me. This is a horrible thing you've shown me, though. And the other, and he's starting to look kind of uneasy towards the other one, but the other one's like bidding him forward, giving him the we gotta go. You're right. We'll take extra precautions, but as I said, it's a risk we must take.
Yeah. Kind of like just taken aback, like almost just looking to the party as if wondering if he's overreacting to this whole situation, maybe looking for some guidance from Rock or Zakid. What should we do next, boys?
Well, I think we just head to the city and tell them what we've seen.
We've warned these poor souls the best we can, and they've made those.
Agreed.
We appreciate your warning, gentlemen, but I think you understand. You must understand what hunger can drive a man to do. We must earn our gold somehow. This is it. As dangerous as the roads are, it's even more dangerous to have nothing to eat in the city. City should only be a few more hours of ride to the north there. You should arrive by dusk. You should arrive by sundown if you make haste now.
Can we ask where you guys are going to?
We're headed to Rexentrum, by way of Odessloe. And you, have you come far? Have you traveled far?
We have just come from Odessloe. It's been quite the journey.
I imagine so. Well, you've come this far. You deserve rest and respite. The city's just ahead. We must make haste now. Huh! And they clip clop away from you.
Let's continue on. Our destination is north.
And as you guys soldier on the rest of the way, you arrive. Oh shit, this is a whole new folder. Alright, so the horses, driven them hard over this journey. It's been a strange, long journey. But before long, as darkness kind of falls around you, you see in the distance start to take shape. You see an unmistakable glowing light within the forest, within the trees. And as you get closer, you see that in fact this glowing is coming from, there's great raised walls, wooden walls surrounding whatever this structure, this settlement is. And then you see the spires starting to peek through the trees, the unmistakable architecture, elvish architecture. This is a magnificent city laying before you. And if I can get you guys into and just before we end things for the night, you guys arrive here at the gates of Bysaes Tyl. Finally arrives. We will wrap there for the evening.